There is no Site-13 in the Foundation's records. There never has been. And yet, on November 14th, a massive, derelict facility manifested in the Big Bend region of Texas, bearing the Foundation seal and a warning painted in blood. What happened to Site-13?
Item number SCP-1730. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. A massive perimeter has been established around the perimeter of SCP-1730. A permanent observation post, designated Outpost 1730, has been constructed nearby to monitor the structure. Any biological entities emerging from the site are to be neutralized immediately. Exploration of the facility is strictly prohibited without Level 4 clearance and the deployment of a full mobile task force. All radio transmissions emanating from the site must be recorded and analyzed by the Department of Analytics.
Description: SCP-1730 is a massive complex of buildings and underground facilities located in the Big Bend Ranch State Park. The site is physically identical to a Foundation containment site, though no record of its construction or existence exists within our timeline. Internal documents recovered from the site suggest it originated from an alternate reality where the Foundation merged with the Global Occult Coalition, leading to a much more aggressive and lethal approach to anomaly containment.
The facility is currently in a state of extreme spatial and temporal instability. The internal geography of the site does not remain constant, and various sections appear to be merging with other dimensions. The air within the site is heavily contaminated with radioactive isotopes and unidentified biological agents. Most notably, a thick, black, viscous substance, referred to as leech ichor, covers many of the lower levels. This substance reacts aggressively to heat and exhibits a rudimentary hive mind intelligence.
Recovery of Site-13 began after the Foundation detected a massive spike in localized reality-bending signatures. Upon arrival, containment teams found the facility in a state of utter ruin. The primary power source, a prototype thresher device, had malfunctioned, causing the entire site to bleed into our reality while remaining tethered to its point of origin.
Initial drone reconnaissance revealed horrifying conditions. The walls of the entrance hall were covered in hundreds of human hands, fused into the masonry, still twitching. Further exploration discovered the body pit, a massive incinerator chamber filled with thousands of anomalous corpses, many of which had been partially resurrected or mutated by the site's failing reality anchors.
The following is a condensed log of the exploration conducted by Mobile Task Force Zeta-9, the Mole Rats, and the Specialized Recovery Team, Tau-5, Samsara.
Upon entering the lower basements, Zeta-9 reported a total breakdown of physical laws. Rooms were inverted and hallways stretched for miles before looping back on themselves. They encountered a creature designated as the Leech Boy, a humanoid entity that moved through the black ichor, consuming anything it touched. The entity appeared to be the result of a failed termination attempt by Site-13 staff.
Communications from the Mole Rats became increasingly frantic as they descended into the Hades section of the site. One operative, Lead Agent Hollis, reported seeing signs scrawled on the walls in a language that caused optical bleeding in anyone who viewed it. These signs were later identified as Class W cognitohazards, used by Site-13 administration to process disobedient staff and anomalies alike.
The horror of Site-13 is not just the anomalies it contained, but the way it treated them. Recovered logs from a Dr. Mohammed Scott, the site's former assistant director of research, detail a regime of systematic torture and recycling of anomalous entities. In this reality, the Foundation GOC Coalition viewed anomalies not as things to be studied, but as resources to be exploited or trash to be incinerated.
One log describes the Olympia Project,
where multiple high-level reality benders were surgically fused together to create a biological weapon. Another log details the repurposing of SCP-2845, the Deer God, which was kept in a state of constant agony to power the facility's cooling systems.
The situation escalated when Tau-5 Samsara, a team of immortal cyborg clones, was sent in to extract survivors. They found a small group of Foundation staff, led by Dr. Scott, hiding in a reinforced bunker in the research wing. These survivors explained that the site's director, Paul Manafort, had ordered the activation of the Thresher device as a final solution when the facility's containment breaches became irreversible.
As Tau-5 attempted the extraction, the site's automated systems initiated a total containment failure protocol. This released the remaining high-threat entities stored in the lower levels. Among these was an entity resembling a massive multi-limbed creature made of shifting geometry, and another that appeared as a humanoid figure wrapped in chains of burning light, a version of the Gate Guardian that had been captured and mutilated.
The battle that followed was catastrophic. The Gate Guardian entity engaged the Deer God in the center of the facility, the clash of their power causing the surrounding space to disintegrate. Tau-5 utilized experimental weaponry to hold back the encroaching Black Ichor, while the survivors were evacuated through a localized temporal rift. During the escape, Agent Hollis of Zeta-9 opted to stay behind. She realized that the only way to prevent Site-13 from permanently anchoring itself in our reality was to manually overload the Thresher device. Her last transmission was a calm request for a whiskey and a cigarette, followed by the sound of a massive mechanical discharge.
Following the overload, SCP-1730 vanished from our reality for approximately 3 seconds before reappearing in its current neutralized state. The massive energy release cauterized the Black Ichor and neutralized the majority of the biological anomalies. The site is now a hollow shell, though the basement levels remain flooded with a dense, non-reactive sludge.
The recovery of Dr. Muhammad Scott and his team has provided the Foundation with invaluable, albeit terrifying, intelligence. They speak of a Foundation that lost its way, where the pursuit of security led to the abandonment of humanity. Dr. Scott's final testimony remains a chilling reminder of our mission. He stated that in his world, they were so busy building a cage for the monsters that they didn't realize they had become the monsters inside the cage.
Site-13 serves as a graveyard for a version of ourselves we must never become. The documents recovered mention Project Pale Horse, a plan to systematically eliminate all life on Earth to ensure perfect containment. While that reality is gone, the structural remains of Site-13 still stand in the Texas desert, a monument to the dangers of absolute power and the corruption of our mandate.
Analysis of the Thresher device remnants suggests that while the site is currently stable, the bleed has not entirely stopped. Sensors occasionally pick up audio recordings from the deep basements, the sound of thousands of voices screaming in unison, followed by the rhythmic pounding of something very large against a heavy steel door.
Containment protocols have been updated to include a null space contingency. If SCP-1730 shows any signs of reactivation, the entire Big Bend region is to be subjected to a multi-stage orbital bombardment. We cannot allow whatever is left in the lower levels of Site-13 to find its way into our world. The mystery of what happened to Site-13 has been answered, but the cost of that knowledge is a permanent stain on the Foundation's collective psyche. We are the wall between the darkness and the light, but Site-13 showed us that sometimes the wall itself can be the most terrifying thing of all. If you want more deep dives into the Foundation's most classified files, subscribe now.